Hello, this is O&O Productions 101, and I'm going to give you guys on YouTube an endorphin tutorial. Well, I'll be doing endorphin tutorials from now on, so people who don't know how to do it can learn. But, first, I have to make a really basic tutorial. Don't mind my background, by the way. I need to, what's the name? Oh, right, tutorial. I need to make this tutorial explaining how to basically how everything works. So I can't just tell you to do stuff if you don't know what you're doing. Alright, so it's gonna load up. Might take a minute, but whatever. Alright, so here is your character. This is the timeline down here. You click on simulation character, and the character that starts off here is gonna be highlighted. You click on environment, anything, any items or any arenas or anything or whatever you put in here is gonna be under environment. Like if I click, okay, up here, these are the create mass objects button. What those do, well, needs to say the create mass objects. So, but yeah, so if I clicked on that, there's a cube object. See, but people can't stand through mass objects. You probably already knew that, but that's how you like import things, so that way you can like create your own like environments once you get the hang of it. I'm gonna delete that though. This blue head thing up here is the add character button. That's how you add characters that you made. Like if you haven't done anything in endorphin, then you only have the simulation character, which you can just add. It looks exactly the same as all the others, but there is a way that you can edit characters. Hold on a minute. That you can edit characters so that way you can have them look however you want. Like, hold on. Oh, and go to view, and turn on property editor. Yeah, always keep your property editor on because it's important because you never know when you're gonna need it. Okay. Now let's go through some of the buttons up on the up here. This button right here. Wait, hold on. Let's start off with these two buttons. This first button is cross. That looks like it's like one of those moving crosses. It says move, but click on somebody. That's how you move characters. Put them in different spots if you don't want them there. Move them up, down, left, right, all that stuff. The button next to it is the rotate button. Click him. And that's how you rotate people. So if you get them to face another person, or lay down or whatever. Okay, and this button, I can't show you this on a human player, but this is the rescale button. That's how you like make things bigger and smaller. Not people though, things. Like if I put a mass object in here, I can make this bigger and smaller and whatnot. But I can't use that on characters, people. Okay. Next button, the pose move button, is one of the most. These next two are probably the most important parts. Use them obviously to move instead of moving the whole body, moving parts of the body around. Now, it might look kind of weird, like if you're trying to like say move him. I don't know. Say you're trying to make him look like he's about to kick somebody. His whole body follows him. It's not good. So, what you want to do, so it stops like the body from like moving with them, is right click somewhere on the body, so that way it cancels out everything else. So if I have his foot selected and I right click his pelvis area, everything that I move, it only affect this leg. It won't go past the pelvis. Or if I move his arm around and I right click his chest, it only moves his arm. So on. Same thing with the pose rotate button, which probably, same thing, just rotates and only his arm. Next button up here is the it's probably show you this, the reset pose button. So that way if you ever do something to characters that you don't want to do, just hit that button and it it goes back to this T shape or whatever pose you have him as set. So if I put him like this and I say, oh my god, I do not want that, you hit the pose reset button and it goes back to normal. I already told you about the add character button and the add mass objects. At 4 different shapes. There's cube or cuboid as they call it. There's sphere. There's cylinder, and there is a sylph. I have no idea what a sylph is. I never even heard of it, but that's this thing. Alright, let me delete all these. If you didn't know, the delete key on your keyboard is how you delete things, but I think you already knew that. And oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. These next 4 buttons are the create collision buttons, create collision object buttons. Those 3 things that, you know, they can stand on them, or yeah. Well, you can stand on mass objects too. But here's something I should tell you. Mass objects, I know the difference. Well, I really don't know what the point of creating mass objects, because the only reason why you can, if I move the character over this, you see that, yeah, he stands on it. It's only because when you create a mass object, if you double click that, hold on, if you click on the mass object, then you double click the mass object, and you move it, there's a collision object created under the mass object, and now if you move that, it's a collision object under the mass object. So I really don't know what the mass object's for, but it is good that we have both, because you never know when you're gonna need it. And like I said before, sphere, cylinder, sylph. These next 4 buttons I don't really use, but you never know. Well, actually, I use them, but like, there's an easy way to get to them. That's what I'm saying. This mask looking button is create behavior event. Behavior, when you click that, it'll, this will come up in the timeline. It will say arm windmill 2 from 0 to 60. Those are the frames. The first number is frame 0. That's what it starts. This number is frame 60. That's where it ends. Now, that's why I say keep the property editor on, because you never know when you're gonna need it. Click on this. Okay, down here is all the play buttons. In order, when you add something into the timeline, you have to click this simulate button, which is this like X looking thing. You have to click that or else it won't go. And you see there, you can kind of tell that his arms are like moving. So click on the arm windmill, and then in the property editor, click on arms windmill, and you see you got this whole big list of behaviors, and you're probably saying like, oh my god, I could do a lot with this. It's not really that much. The only ones I usually use are things like tackle or jump or writhe or stuff. A lot of these, you know, are pretty useless, but you can try them out, click on them, and they do a different action. I don't know what that was for. Tackle. Okay. Well, hold on. A lot of these don't do so unless they're standing on the floor. As you can see, my person right now is hovering on the floor. So if it is, just move him so that way he's kind of like standing on this grid, and that's how I'm standing. All right. Like I said, a lot of these things don't do anything. Okay. Next button on the toolbar is the create constraint event. One of the most things you need. As you see, if you simulate this, or take this out, if you simulate the event with nothing in the timeline, you probably already figured this out by default over. And there is a way to stop it. That's what the constraint event. So you add create constraint event, or if you right click the timeline and click create a constraint event, that'll happen as well. And what you'll have here is this. Part of his body will glow red, and your selector mouse thing will probably have those 3 little boxes next to it. What that means is that means that you're able to select something. But what you are selecting is selecting a part of the body to be frozen, so that way he doesn't move. It's what it's set to do right now.